good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Beef. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Hunger Play TJ, because now you got me thinking about burgers.
It's what's for dinner. And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
No reason at all.
Literally. So we have a beef. Oh, there's a new goal link. I'm sorry. I can't. I got distracted. New music.
I see money.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
We got a beef. Brewing. And our thought is on that beef, fans don't really care about it. Mm-hmm. Not in the way that they cared about Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And so that's kind of what we want to talk about. If you're not familiar, right now, the East Coast, could we call him the East Coast champion? The East Coast champion himself.
Former champion.
Okay.
Because he said the ruler's back.
Yeah, that's loaded, but okay. The East Coast champion, Joey Bada, has come back with a series of jabs at the West Coast, and we're going to talk about the timeline in just a second. And now West Coast folks are popping out, and they're upset about it. And now at this point here, it's May 2025, and the beef has eclipsed. Mm-hmm. And there's a series of events that have occurred that has led to this situation. So first, back in January, Joey Bada releases The Ruler's Back. And he says, he uses a Jay-Z line, too much West Coast D-licking. And it's early on in the show. I can't curse yet. And then
Glizzy eating. And
then TDE's like, well, what? Because you're talking about our reign. Like, we're the ones that are doing the most right here on the West Coast right now. It's TDE time, right? Whether it be TDE version 1 or TDE version 2 at the moment.
Yeah.
And then you have this sort of West Coast dominance that Joey Bada is trying to call out, right? So fast forward, Vaughn releases, and Vaughn is an independent artist. Oh, sorry, not an independent artist, but an artist signed to TDE. He's one of the newest signees to TDE. Dang, I can't talk today. And he did a song called Crash Out Heritage. And in that, he's responding to Joey Bada. And then Joey Bada releases Sorry Not Sorry. And then there's a little lapse in time. Mm-hmm. But the lapse in time comes with a new cipher that comes out. So Red Bull gets Big Sean, they get Ab-Soul, and then they get Joey Bada. And you can see where the contention is here. So Big Sean, let's get him out of the way. He throws a few shots at Kanye.
But also, Sean keeps getting overshadowed on songs where people are like,
we can get to that.
Okay.
That's why it doesn't.
It does better.
That goes to our main point, right?
It does.
So, Sean's there. Mm-hmm. He's there. And he does some raps for somebody that isn't there. Cool.
Yeah.
But the two people that take the stage are the folks that are sparring from either coast. You have Ab-Soul and you have Joey Bada. Joey Bada being a pro-era representative, the main guy in pro-era. And then you have Ab-Soul, who is holding down TDE no matter what. And they go back and forth and they spar and they trade bars within this cipher. And then at that point, people start catching strays. Vaughn catches some strays. J. Cole catches some strays. Kendrick catches a few strays. Other folks on the West Coast catch few strays like daylight. So at this point, Joey Badass with Ab-Soul in the same room is holding frame. And Ab-Soul is also holding frame too, because he's like, nah, you're not going to sun me in this cipher, but we're still cool because this is competition.
Right.
And then after the cipher happens, Vaughn strikes back with Ho Era. Has Joey Badass's face on the t-shirt, and it's a a play on words from Joey Badass's Pro Era. And then Joey Badass comes back the next day and drops the finals. And in the finals, a former TDE signee, Reason, who was recently dropped and released because seemingly he expedited his process of being released by supporting Drake in this in the most recent beef, and that's also part of our big story. And so, after the finals, Reason drops the Dead Apple, and ultimately, what we're saying right now is fans, or at least the average fan, does not care about this beef and cared way more about Kendrick Lamar and Drake than they ever would about this situation.
Yeah, the bigger point that we're making to you average fans, y'all don't care about actual competition. You care about messiness. And you care about superstars. You come to the game because you want to see the Jay-Z's of the world, the Lil Waynes. You want to see all of these different things. You want to see the bigger stars. You want to see Jay and Nas, Biggie Pac, 50 Ja, all of these different beefs that have been like huge. Whereas like maybe when Ice Cube was beefing with Dr. Dre.
Or with Common.
There was not a lot of people who cared. You didn't even really care about Drake beefing with Common.
Right.
As much as you cared about the mess of why.
I forgot that song came out.
They were beefing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. I remember us listening and being like, this is butters, as they would say over across the water.
Wow.
But there's so much that's showing that y'all don't care about true competition, because this here is an actual lyrical back and forth. It is a very good back and forth, but because they don't have the same star power or the same cachet, you don't really care. Now, Joey has a huge step in front of Vaughn, called it man Vaughn.
Well, Vaughn is Joey Badass's real name, or Vaughn or something like that.
Oh, look at me. But you don't care that much about Vaughn. Vaughn just dropped the project in April. In the middle of all of this, I'm pretty sure, because it's my first time hearing about it as an artist who does keep up with things. There was no conversations about it, and there's not as much meat to chew on because you don't know that much about either of these people on a global stage.
Nor do you want to care, right?
Yeah.
So these people haven't, to both of their points, neither one of them has released any hits.
Yeah.
Recently. Neither one of these individuals have been in the spotlight recently. And I think they're trying to utilize this to propel themselves to the spotlight, but is it working?
I believe it's working a little bit for Joey. Joey released 2 days ago with the finals, and he's already at 500,000, which for a smaller artist like himself who has the lyrical cachet to be a bigger artist, that's a big movement. Because a big point that I was making about you average fans is Drake and Kendrick, every one of those diss tracks hit 1 million plus in 24 hours. I think Vaughn and like Reason's tracks were at least at the time of recording at about 140,000, 200,000, which means it's just like blog era people and actual hip hop heads who are looking and listening to everything that comes out that were actually listening to the song. Now, you may have heard about it from a review of somebody that you like, but your actual interests are starting to prove what I was saying about people that were siding with Kendrick or whatever is like, y'all don't really care about lyrics. You just care that this is messy.
Yeah. That sentence right there sound like Drake defense.
Oh, well, let me clear that up because I'm definitely not trying to do that. We didn't care about lyrics on both sides.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't think Drake put out a lot of songs in terms of when they were doing the back and forth that would, like, to me, be considered deeply lyrical.
Well, they don't care about lyrics, and they don't care about rapping or battling.
Yeah.
As much as they do a good song or like entertainment.
Right.
Right. So the folks they care more about clout than it is that. So why is that though? Why do you think that we're in a situation where both of these folks could be much more bigger because of this situation, or could be bigger just because they're talented? Why do you think they don't care about beef? Why do you think the average fan doesn't care about beef in general?
Because most people come to see Godzilla and King Kong. They don't come to see an iguana and a small toy monkey. And that's no offense to them, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I need to know, as an average person, who I'm looking at without knowing who I'm looking at.
Right.
Like, if you say Beehive, they know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you say Hova, you know who they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, globally, there's a name that you know, or Miss Carter, or however they want to, like, set it up, where it's like, everybody else, I'm not here for your actual skill if you haven't shown me that you're popular. And that's just the general currency of...
But even then,
world.
I don't think people care about skill.
No.
When you're popular.
No.
They care about the song making them feel a certain type of way.
I would say that, but you have to be big enough to create a sense of FOMO, because Euphoria still has crazy views, and I don't think Euphoria was the best.
Yeah, it has crazy views.
Well, to me, it was the best, but like for average fans, I don't think it has the same cachet that Not Like Us does.
Let me give you another comparison, right?
Okay.
Are any of the songs from the beef?
Which beef?
The Kendrick and Drake beef.
Okay.
Bigger than Nice for What or Humble?
Oh.
And I'm not saying, like, don't compare them time-wise, right? Because that's not a fair comparison.
Yeah.
Right? But the question is like, all right, these songs, these actual songs, Humble and Nice for What, are monumentous hit records.
Mm-hmm.
What's a challenge for me is even Euphoria and Meet the Grams and all of those other songs, they don't even matter on the scale of Humble and Nice for What.
No. The only song that would even have that cachet is Not Like Us, and it's only because, to me, it gives the most back-to-back feeling. Because it is a song, no matter the content in it, even though, whatever.
Not Like Us is the only one that you're probably playing at the cookout.
The only one. Because there is a black national feeling of it, you know, like a Juneteenth, because...
It's bigger.
Yeah.
It's what Drake did with Meek Mill.
Yeah, it's literally like back to back. You literally just be sitting there. Is that your girl? Is that a world tour or your girls tour? Mm-hmm. You know, you're saying that to somebody, and you're all going. And shout out to all the boss wife, and like that's what you're doing. Yeah. So like yeah. So there was only one song that was even a standout. Like, because Family Matters could have been that if Not Like Us didn't come out.
Yeah. I think the biggest part is that, like, people don't even know why they should be checking in on this beef right now.
Yes. What is your biggest reason why they should check it out?
I actually don't have one.
I got a good
I don't have a good reason for people to check out this beef other than, do you like raps? right? Like,
Yeah.
and if you don't like raps, then it ain't for you.
Here's why I think you guys should check it out. So if you grew up in the early 2000s,
And not you guys, like our audience. I think we're talking past our audience right now. Because our audience knows about this.
Average fans, here's why I'm saying you should check this out. If you are of 30-something or younger, there was a time where beef was not necessarily rare, but we would get all these storylines, right? I bet a lot of you don't even know that Busta Rhymes went at Murder Inc. and had some things to say because he sided with M and 50 and everybody else. This is the closest thing I think we're getting to like modern day actual competition. And there's actual respect between these two artists, which means you can get more music, more quality because they're actively engaging in what the sport is supposed to be. So it's fun for you because you get to hear some really disrespectful stuff. I guarantee you, if you listen to the finals, you're going to be like, oh my God, these people can't like each other. Like, there's no way that he was standing next to his mans on stage and they doing this kind of thing. It is just as juicy, even more so than the Drake and Kendrick beef to me, because these are people that are actually going to take time and sit in the craft because they don't have another option. Because if they don't, you wouldn't listen to it in the first place. So I implore you. I just think that there's so much good gems here for people who are just average fans to check out, that gives you all the things you want. You got a lot of good disrespectful lines that you want in beef, stuff that you can play wherever you're going and just be riding around listening. It's got a vibe to it. And if nothing else, just listen to Reason the Dead Apple.
This is music that people would work out to.
Yes.
Not necessarily like play in the car or play at a fun event. Like this music has a purpose, and ultimately people don't really care about music being competitive as a general fan.
Yeah, but you should. But anyway,
I don't know. I don't know if they ever will.
No, I don't think they ever will. I mean, that was my whole thing. Well, they will. But it just has to be, again, Godzilla to King Kong. Yeah. And even then, I don't necessarily think you care as much as you don't want to miss out.
Well, speaking of Godzilla to King Kong, do you think that like we're going to be able to put Joey Badass and Vaughn in the bathtub and see them expand a little bit?
That is such a 90s specific reference. If you don't put what this is on the screen in some kind of way so they can understand... God. No, I actually, to your point, your very 90s point, I do not think this will grow them in the way that they would like. I think it'll just be fun kind of competition, because prime example, this is going to be a great thing, but I feel like the conversation will be more about how another Big Sean verse got overshadowed by somebody wanting to go at everybody. Yeah.
But nobody cares about that, right?
No, because I'm gonna stop playing. Like I promise you, TDE is not my friend. Like I'm not coming to rap with y'all no more. Yeah, and he knew the funny part is he still stood there knowing because they know each other's verses because they were interacting with each other.
Right.
I'm like, you chose it again.
This was planned. This was orchestrated.
So I like that he has to like the joke of doing this because I promise you I'm finna stand out. I promise you I'm finna go at Kanye and both of y'all while y'all stand here next to me.
But for me, I don't feel like... I feel like this probably has enough momentum to go one more round, and then people are just going to be like, I don't care. Unless
the Lorax.
Unless somebody drops a hit. And I think Vaughn had the closest thing to a hit record.
Oh, you give it to Ray?
No, to a hit song. To a hit song, yes. Over the finals, yes.
I don't know. I still give it to Reason.
No, Whole Era is a bigger hit song. Reason is more like a medley. The Dead Apple is a medley.
Yeah, but it's like It's so good though.
I mean, but what do you do? Do you stop dancing during the transitions?
No, you just get it going. Like okay. I think about it like Meek Mill when it's building up to, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, that out. Like they don't. It goes straight into it, so there is no like pause. But I think of it like that.
I don't think so. I just think I think it's sort of like, well, I guess nice for what had some vocal breaks in it, so people are okay with that.
I mean, you say the stuff out loud. I think they've given us enough.
I think Whole Era
crazy.
is a better record than the Dead Apple.
I don't know. I think this is fun. I do think they only have like one more round, and the only thing that I don't think will happen is Kendrick not popping out. Like if Kendrick pops out, then we can have a conversation about where we're going. But at this point, like Kendrick is not going to be.
Why does he have a reason to? He's on tour.
He's on tour, but also, well, he was on. No, he wasn't. He was getting ready for a tour and the album drop. But I don't think he wants to be seen like the crash out king. Like
who, Kendrick?
Yeah.
I don't think he would be seen that way. I think he would be justified by Crash Out. Like has, in my opinion, Crash Out has no justification. You just spark up.
What I mean more so with that euphemism is, I don't think he wants to just be popping out for beef when he is a much bigger artist than that. If he just pops out to say he did it with Control, but he didn't, like, as far as I can remember, respond to anybody.
You know what would be more interesting?
Yeah.
If J. Cole releases his album and says something about all of this.
That would be the most. You know what? I'm with you on that bingo card. But what do y'all think? Like, what are we going to do down in the comments to tell us what you're expecting? Are you in tune with this beef, average fan?
Right.
Do you care? What actually makes you care about beef? Because I could be wrong. So let us know down in the comments. We appreciate each and every one of you. A
1,
a 2,
and
no reason. Peace.